now you've made it through the induction phase of your new job and you're starting to get moving, get things done. There's a couple of tips that I'd like to share with you about those sort of almost like that first 90 days that will be really important for you to make sure not only you've got off to a good start, but you continue to build, continue to move forward, continue to solidify, because it's a really critical phase for the establishment of your reputation within the organisation. The first tip once you're moving is about fitting in and standing out. What I mean by this is that in group psychology, what we know is that the optimum approach to become really successful in the group is to first fit in, get familiar, get known, get accepted by the group, and then progressively start to stand out with new ideas, new ways of thinking, innovation. And if you can do that in a way that brings people with you, helps pull from the base of their competence and experience and expertise up to a new way of doing things, a new way of looking things, bringing the group with you, you're much more likely to have an enduring position within that group. So learn to fit in and then gradually start to stand out. And depending on what role it is, of course, depends on the speed that you need to go with that. But be very careful. If you don't fit in to start off with, you may have problems later on. The second really important point here and tip for you is focus very hard on learning the politics. And the politics is all about the way decisions are made within an organisation. You've got to really tune in. And certainly at middle to senior levels, there are no jobs on the planet that don't involve a level of political activity. And you've learnt the context, you've started to get a chance to look at the reality of the situation around the jobs. As you're starting to build these relationships now, start to tune in on the agendas. What are the big picture items going on here? Where are the cliques, the cabals? How are things being moved forward in the organisation as well? Because if you don't do it now, you will suffer later. And now is a really good time when you can ask the naive questions because you're new to the organisation. So make sure to do everything that you can to work out how the decisions are being made and therefore how you and your role can fit within that. And the final tip for this point, and as you're getting going in the new role, is about building expectations. And by building expectations, I mean be very close to your boss and your line management structure, because quite often what is decided and agreed before you start or when you start may move quite quickly. So you've got to have a proactive approach to managing their understanding of what you're doing, your understanding of what they want you to do, so that you can basically meet their expectations, which they may not even be able to express in a clear way. So you've got to work quite actively with them, but also with other stakeholders around the organisation. And the reason why I use build expectations is because you don't want to go in there perhaps at the beginning exaggerating what you're there to do and how you're going to change the world. You need to fit in, then you can start to stand out. And by building, that's what you can also do, because if you get an agreement as to what your boss is expecting you to do, what you're expecting to do, and now I've learnt this, now I've seen what's really going on, I think we can do more. I think there's more that we can do. If I can do, and so start to grow, start to be a little bit bolder as you gain more confidence out of the politics, because once you've learnt the politics, you may get a greater sense of what's really doable in this new job. So as you're getting moving in the first 3 months, make sure that you're careful about the group psychology so you fit in and then gradually start to stand out. You really get beneath the surface of the politics to know who's doing what and how and etc., so that you can be very well equipped with the insight to be able to make your moves and gradually build greater clarity about expectations and stretch those expectations as well. So that's it for now on new jobs. I hope you take these to heart, hope you really apply them and implement them well and are truly successful in that job and it meets all of your expectations.